is a Quickstream that I'm adjusting because I was having trouble doing the live stream, but I'm just gonna do this in one take. But I'm gonna warm myself up with just a little bit of freestyle session. Yes, blessing, you know how we do, just wrecking, just trying to see, just celebrate what's inside of me. Cause today, releasing a new project, a new course in the making. But first, it starts with the living ebook to get us out the shook, out the scares, out the fear, to come through, get that vision quite clear. That's how we rock, and you know it don't stop. Keep on going like the tick in the top, but no dancing though, no trends. Just doing it for within. For within I begin for ascension. Forgetting it, removing competition. My son loves that song I made back in the day. Hey you guys, now we just try to get out the sky, get out the deny, get out the way. Just me, oh my, I feel so free. Have a good time flowing from this body. This is how we do and how we flow, how we let it go as we keep it going for the no show, just to grow, just to be, just to see the joy manifest inside of me, to defeat the enemy, to defeat the self-critics, just to make sure that we can get it. So whether you're doing it just to get some digits or just to live it vivid in color, smooth like many brothers, coming through for no other, representing for you, or representing for you. You know how we do. If you don't know, then you check the flow, and if you don't know, get out your notebooks. We do this with no hooks. We do this to get you out the shook, out the scares, out the shooks, out the scares, and the out the shooks, out the scares, no cares. Just let it flow like you let down your hair. Have a good time shaking your dairy air. I feel so good in the place. That's why there's a smile on my face as I kiss the joy as it flies. That's that freestyle grace. Hey, I. Simmer down. What's good, y'all? Desmond here, Rhyme Masters. You know how we do. Doing a quick stream. And again, it's not going to be streamed live, but I am just going to do this in one take so you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Man, a lot of life happening, but I managed to get this thing done. It started with, hopefully you watched this. I can't remember your name, but I hopped on a live stream and asked a question, and it got back to this thing that I just keep noticing that gets in the way of people freestyling, and it's perfectionism, right? So it got me thinking, like, all right, how do we deal with perfectionism in growth rap? How do we use the art form of freestyling as a way to get out like the root of what's there? So that spawned what I'm about to share with you today, at least what I'm excited to celebrate. So I just released it. I'm calling it a living ebook, right? So it's called Fearless Freestyling, Free Yourself, Defeat Perfectionism, and Achieve Freestyle Rap Freedom. And I'm excited about this. It's a living ebook because as I share it with you, you know, I'm gonna get feedback. I'm gonna adjust. I'm gonna make improvements to it. I guess it's a way of navigating my own sense of perfectionism in my life, knowing that I can always make it better. And so why this matters is because, yes, it's the first thing that gets in the way of people freestyling, this idea that they have to be perfect. And it's not just in your freestyling where this fear of perfectionism can creep up. At least that's what I noticed in my life. So freestyling has been a practice for me to be able to deal with that. When I teach my students in class to freestyle, I tell them that I'm not teaching you to freestyle because I want you to be the next Drake. I'm teaching you to freestyle. I'll come back to that. I'm teaching you to freestyle because I want you to practice courage. I want you to practice the feeling of fear in the moment, but still doing something anyway. And when you do that, you'll just enjoy the freestyle more and thus learn how to be enjoying your life more. I'm coming back to the whole idea of Drake freestyling because I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard Drake truly go off top, and not saying that he needs to. I'm not trying to get into the four-way of Kendrick, J. Cole, and the Drake conversation. But it made me laugh when I had that thought. So, yeah. So it's not about, it's not just about mastering of the craft for its own sake and career's sake. It's also about practicing that courage in a moment. So what I thought I would do is just kind of walk through the book with you here. And, I'm not going to dive deep. I'm not going to dive too deep into, each chapter. You can check it out. The idea is it's designed to be like a 5-day challenge. Of course, you can do it in your own pace. You can do it all in one day if you want. You can do it all in 5 days. You can do it longer than that. And the future of it is, assuming folks are digging the concept, is to expand on this living ebook and turn it into a course or a challenge that we do together in the community. So so it's available now. The link to get access to the ebook will be there. Right now it's about 30 pages. I wrote it to be consumable, and it's going to be really affordable as far as the value content goes, and for anybody who gets connected and buys a copy now, any improvements that get made to the book, you also have access to those as well. So all right, let's dive into it, and it'll be fun. All right, so there it is. There's my blue steel look right there. There's the cover. So we kind of go through what's the motivation behind the book, and as I described earlier, I keep getting that question, and I guess more particular, it may not even be in the section, but I'm gonna talk about it now, is that freestyling is an art form that's immediately available to you, and having an art form that's immediately available to you just has so many personal benefits, just for your mind and for your emotions. And when I can't remember the name of the book, but it was like something like "This is your brain on art." Or when I read like those benefits, it's like, oh wow, like this is something that whoever's interested in rapping and freestyling, like this is why you need to just have a practice of it. That's not just about making the music, because it's just going to help you on a day-to-day. So that's also the motivation in here. So yes, it's going to focus more on perfectionism, but it's also really about getting the fear and that stuff out the way so we can really get the benefits of it. Because right now you're not getting the benefits of freestyling because you're not doing it, right? Because of the some of the myths and stuff. So I'll talk a little bit about my journey in finding my freestyle voice. And I didn't start freestyling in high school. I started in college, and the long and short of the story is that I saw folks who were talking about the things that I felt comfortable talking about, and that gave me the click, like the aha, like, oh man, I can freestyle. I didn't have to be like other people. So it kind of got me out of the comparison myth, which is kind of the next section. So I talk about 3 mindset shifts, going from really going through some of the myths of freestyling, and I think these are like the top 3 as it relates to perfectionism. So we have from perfection to excellence. So that's really about the idea of people want to be perfect, thinking that they're pursuing excellence, like to get a high quality thing. But when you pursue perfection, of course, it's the idea that you don't make mistakes, it's flawless, and And that sounds nice to say, but the reality is when something is flawless and perfect, we often think that there's nothing to be improved. And that's the myth, right? There's always something to be improved, especially if we're in a path of mastery with it. And then number 2, it was going from mistakes as failures to opportunities for growth. So the myth is anytime you make a mistake, right, you're a failure. So in freestyling, you fall off. If you fall off too many times, it's like, I just can't do it. But really, when we shift it from, okay, we made a mistake, how do we improve? We can stay engaged in our freestyle journey. Number 3 is perfectionism as protection. That's the myth, and I want to get you to courage practice. And this is what I was talking about earlier with my students, where perfectionism, instinctually, it's like, if I'm perfect, then I'm safe from ridicule, I'm safe from judgment. And while you're being safe, you're not being courageous. And so as we practice freestyling, we'll feel those moments of like, I don't know. I mean, I felt those moments when I freestyled and started this video. But I've been doing it so long that I know how to stay in the moment, stay courageous, and stay engaged with the art and not let the fear consume me to the point where I stop doing it. So this is where we start getting into the day by day approach. So again, it's just 5 days. So basically in a week, you can have a transformation with perfectionism and be freestyling more. Because that's my goal. I just want to help people freestyle more because it's such a beneficial practice. So we start day 1 with your vision. And so again, I'm not going to like read it to you, but the whole idea with day 1 is to really get clear on what we value, right? It's really about getting clear on what we value, thinking about ourselves at our best and our brightest, and cultivating that. And the reason we want to do that is it gives us something to strive for, and it gets you a place to like put the energy. So, and how this is laid out, right? So we got the vision for day 1, and then for each day there's practices, and the base practice for each day is what I like to call riff or reflection. Rap in this case will be freestyle, and then review. And so in the text I'm using reflect, freestyle, review, but once you get inside the community, you'll hear me refer to it as riff, rap, review. So you reflect, just open reflection, whether you want to record yourself just kind of talking about some of these questions or writing them down in a journal. You can do that. You're not thinking about lyrics, you're just trying to get the ideas flowing, loosely focused as much as you can on the prompt. So again, for day 1, it's about what's your definition of personal excellence. It's about you at your best and your brightest. Really getting clear on just what you want for your life, how you want to live on the daily, how you want your rap journey to be as well. Then the second part is to freestyle, and I say anywhere from 30 seconds up to 3 minutes. And again, I'm designing this for folks who, you have a little bit of skill to do it. Like you've tried it and you just don't push past that comfortable point. So hopefully we'll push you past your comfortable point in this. So 30 seconds to 3 minutes, whatever you feel comfortable. You're trying to just stay inspired by your vision of excellence. You're really practicing letting go of the self-judgment. I actually encourage you to make mistakes because that's how you're pushing yourself. And your goal is just to discover insights, emotions, and thoughts that relate to your vision for yourself. All right. Then each day will conclude with a review where you are reviewing what did you notice about the freestyling, what surprised you, and then what would you apply to your vision. So the questions vary at the end, but essentially it's just all about having you reflect on the experience in a way that allows you to improve for next time. So and then let's see the I am statements. So this is a little bit of a bonus in that day one. So, and then we get a conclusion to each day. So day 2 is going to be your motivation and your drive. So this is really all about digging into your why. And yeah, that purpose, why it matters to you. So my why for this, I mean, I talked about it earlier, but it's really just, I love it when people break through their barriers, when they break through their fears. And for deeper, real deep reasons I won't necessarily get into in this one, just to keep the video short, but let's just say that if we can break through these fears and start living the best version of ourselves, the world will be a better place, and we can use freestyling to help cultivate that. So yeah, we talked about connecting your motivation to your vision. Then day 2 practices, same process. Reflect first, journal or speaking, then freestyle, then review, or rap review for all my alliteration folks there. Day 3, it focuses on the blocks and the barriers. So this is the stuff that gets in the way, and this is where you got to be really honest with yourself about it. You got to notice what that inner hater, that inner critic is saying, so you can begin to kind of dismantle those beliefs. And the day 3 practices, same process. You're reflecting on those, you're reflecting on the blocks, you're reflecting on the barriers. You're going to freestyle just to kind of bring some energy to it, and then review the session. And I would love for those who go through this to let me know like what comes up for you. And a little conclusion, day 4, it's your fears. So the blocks and the barriers, sometimes when we go through the blocks and the barriers, like we'll be like, oh yeah, I do this. I'll say I'm not a freestyler, and then we'll justify why that's the case. And to kind of, with the purpose to kind of dismiss maybe some of the fears that get attached to it. So day 4 is really about understanding our fear. And I can give you this right now, that what day 4 is going to help you understand is that, people say, yeah, you just got to defeat fear. You got to, beat it down and never fear. And it's like, well, fear is an emotion. It's not going away. You're not defeating any of your emotions, but you can understand the purpose of it. And then once you understand the purpose of it, you can use it to align with your goals, your visions, in the direction you want to go, as opposed to it becoming a thing that is getting in your way because it's trying to protect you from what you think could harm you. So more in the book on that, but day 4 was probably one of the, day 4 and day 5 honestly are like kind of my favorites of this of the process so far. So yeah, so that's day 4. Again, same practices: reflect first, freestyle, then review. Then we got some the conclusion. Day 5, right, the final day of this process, your freestyle mindset. This is all right. Have you reflected on your experience so far? I talk about deliberate practice. I talk about 3 areas of your to focus on: doing, learning, and being. And I'm just looking at some of these things. I'm going to change the font on it. And the day 5 practices, again, reflecting, freestyle, review. What I'll say about day 5 is that all this work is building up to this, where it's like, with a right freestyle mindset, when you go to freestyle, it's not about, I gotta be the best every time I step on the mic. It's not about that, right? Especially in growth rap, it's not about that. It's about, when you freestyle, what is the experience? What experience are you cultivating as you do it? It's not it's not about performing at the best of your ability 100% of the time. In the day 5 section, I do go over, a little bit like when it does make sense to kind of have a focus, but ultimately, because freestyling is an improvised art, it is about the present moment. Too often we neglect the living experience of freestyling for the objective of performing well, or the objective of trying to improve our skill. And when we get to the limits on both of those things, that's when the perfectionism and the doubt and the fear can kind of take over and take away from the experience of freestyling, take away the enjoyment of it. And if you're not enjoying it, you're not likely to continue the practice. So that's day 5. So, and then I give you a little bit of my final thoughts. And I'm gonna give you the final thought now, is to remember that freestyling is fun. And if you're not having fun when you freestyle, you need to change your approach. So yeah, that's it. I'm excited about it. It's really, of all the kind of courses and products and things I've created over the years, this one is really like the seed of what I want Rhyme Masters to become, what I want the concept of growth rap to become. So I'm thankful for you watching it and making it this far. And I was gonna do this live, but since I can't do it live, I'm going to do it like this. Yes, okay. So if you, I'm gonna put it on the screen here. All right. This is how I'll do it. Let me stop the share, and then hopefully it'll let me. It's not letting me put in a slide. Are you? All right, it's not letting me put it on the screen right now, for whatever reason, because that's just how these things go. Okay. So you'll just have to like hear my words on this. So since you've made it to this point in the video, and you're still interested in it, so I'm selling it at a really low cost, right? It's just $7 to get the living ebook. But I will, I'm trying to think it all the way through, getting stuck in the how. Anyway, if you email me at fearlessfreestyling@desmondspan.com, I will grant you a free copy of it. I'm only going to do this for a limited time, because, how long I'm going to do this? I'll put it this way, until the next time I stream. Yes, until the next time I stream. So, if you email me, fearlessfreestyling@desmondspan.com, I will get you a free copy of this book, and I would love your feedback on it. All right. So, yes, and you'll see how to spell fearless freestyling, right? I don't need to put it back on the screen. All right, I think we got it. So thank you for checking it out. Like I said, I'm doing this. I wanted to stream it, but technology said no. But yeah, I'll just leave you with this. Just whether you check out the book or not, freestyling is just something that's just good for you, good for your mind, good for your emotions, good for the soul, the spirits, all that stuff. And it just makes you, better on the mic for when you're making your music, get you more creative. So please do it. Please stay engaged with it. And it's for everybody who wants to do it, right? You don't have to be any kind of special kind of person or a special kind of identity. If you have a love and a passion for it, it's for you. And I would love to be able to help you develop your practice around it. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate you. And as always, genius over doubt. I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces, y'all.